chốn này mà tim em luôn mơ về anh như phút. Mơ về anh từng giờ mong chờ anh thân thờ, chỉ muốn thét lên rằng em nhớ anh. Trong tim vẫn mơ về anh, bao đêm thầm mơ về anh. Bên anh người có chưa biết về bao buồn vui mà em đã qua. I wanna get your love, never want you to let go. 'Cause I believe we belong together. Và nếu như anh buồn em sẽ luôn bên anh. Và nếu như anh cần em sẽ là đôi cánh. Giữa là khung trời giúp anh bay xa, dù bao giông tố mãi luôn vượt qua. Tháng năm trôi hoài anh đừng đi bên anh, vì chính anh là người sẽ chở che em mãi. Dẫu đêm bao giờ, dẫu đêm bao lâu, thì ở đằng sau anh vẫn luôn là bóng dáng ai đó mãi trông về anh. Hey, hey. Bên anh, bên anh, bên anh, bên anh. Bên anh, bên anh, bên anh, bên anh. Nếu một ngày nào đó anh chợt bước đi, thật lòng chẳng biết em sẽ nghĩ gì. Anh mang đi bao nhiêu lời ca, melody trong em không sẽ xa mất rồi. Và nếu ngày ấy em chẳng có anh, cuộc đời này sẽ chẳng còn màu xanh, vì em đã cho điều anh mà baby boy.
Chẳng cần đôi giày cao gót, em vẫn là cô gái on top. Và chẳng cần so môi hay thêm phấn, em đã khiến nốt nhạc anh thăng hoa. Những tiếng tung muốn mù vùng và xoay vần, anh muốn nói với em một điều là I can be your lover, I can be your
Nếu như anh
dreamer.
buồn em sẽ luôn bên anh, và nếu như anh cần em sẽ là đôi cánh. Giữa nơi khung trời giúp anh bay xa, dù bao giông tố mãi luôn vượt qua. Tháng năm trôi hoài anh đừng đi bên anh, vì chính anh là người sẽ chở che em mãi. Dẫu đêm bao giờ, dẫu đêm bao lâu, thì ở đằng sau anh vẫn luôn là bóng dáng ai đó mãi trông về
Em muốn
anh.
một nhà như Cherry, như giai vang hào hạng trên ly. Khác biệt với những cô gái anh biết, em là một giai điệu anh cần viết. Bao nhiêu lâu em biết cậu yêu đầu, nhưng bôi trái anh vẫn đã thiếu màu. 2 giờ 3 phút sáng giấc mình bàng hoàng lại nhớ đến em. Em xóa đi hết đêm đen, em khiến bài hát có tên. Em khiến gã mộng mơ nào lại thao thức trong bao nhiêu đêm. Phím nào lại rơi bên thềm, mong giọt mưa giúp em vào giấc ngủ em. Kẻ yêu đơn phương là anh, tình yêu của anh vượt qua cả nước tương đối của Einstein. I make you smile, make you fly, make you high, girl. I make you smile, make you fly, make you high, girl. I'm gonna treat you right, ha, treat you right.
Và nếu như anh buồn em sẽ luôn bên anh, và nếu như anh cần em sẽ là đôi cánh. Giữa nơi khung trời giúp anh bay xa, dù bao giông tố mãi luôn vượt qua. Tháng năm trôi hoài anh đừng đi bên anh, vì chính anh là người sẽ chở che em mãi. Dẫu đêm bao giờ, dẫu đêm bao lâu, thì ở đằng sau anh vẫn luôn là bóng dáng ai đó mãi trông về anh.
It's like, baby, I feel love. I can be your love, baby. Come to me.
Khi gặp nhau lần đầu anh có nghĩ vậy không? Nghĩ rằng mình cùng hợp nhưng chưa chắc ra đâu vào đâu. Nghĩ rằng mình cùng hợp hay chỉ có em suy nghĩ thế thôi. Your smile just like on my way. Ngày hôm ấy là một ngày xanh nắng, ánh mắt đã thấy em nói một điều. Trong suy nghĩ mình còn nhiều hơn
hopefully. We're going to be, and to the Seeds 2024 Community Showcase. We're going to be starting soon. All the mentees, and myself, and some of our staff and interns are, all the nerves are getting to you, right? As y'all are like preparing to present your presentations. I can see some of your parents are here, some of our community members are here. So we've got a lot in store throughout the day for today's showcase. We're waiting for a few folks to trickle in, but we'll sit tight and we'll get started in a couple minutes. Thank you. I'm solid. There's also a live stream going on right now.
There's a live stream.
All right, we'll get started. Because we've got a lot of presentations to share with y'all, but again, reintroducing myself, and then hello to everyone who's watching us on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube, and for all of the mentees who hopefully will watch this later when you can see how much you've accomplished throughout the Seeds 2024 program. Again, my name is Philip Nguyen, and I'm the Executive Director for the Vietnamese American Roundtable. To tell you a little bit about who we are, if you've been wondering where your children have been going every weekend for the past 8 weeks to this program, Seeds. VAR, Vietnamese American Roundtable, our mission is that we envision a strong, unified Vietnamese American community that works towards building a better quality of life for all, right? And so we really do that through, you can advance this slide, through 3 pillars, right? We do that through civic engagement, we do that through cultural learning, and we do that through community building. And our programs really center a lot around these 3 very distinct pillars. We try to address issues of intergenerational trauma. How do we think about ways that we connect the elder generation to the younger generation? And then also understand that our community is not monolithic, or not all Vietnamese Americans are the same, right? Even though we're here in San Jose, in Santa Clara County, that we interact with different communities of color, different refugee immigrant communities, and we as descendants of these refugees and immigrants also have our unique perspectives and experiences that we also like to share to the world, right? Which you all will be seeing throughout the program today. I think one of the things that I want to highlight about VAR, if I don't want to stand up here and tell you about all the programs that we've got going on, because I assure you we've got a lot that y'all can find on our Instagram, Facebook, and our website. But I want to show you some of the people that have been really critical to making VAR what it is. And for all of y'all mentees, right, when we talk about what it means to be a part of a community, I hope that a couple of these pictures, you can hit the next slide, show you the kind of community that you're becoming a part of. This is the 7th year that we're doing the SEEDS program. When the folks in 2013 came up with the SEEDS program, I think there were only like 5 or 6 mentees that came like week to week throughout the summer to participate in the program. And since then, 2013, it's almost, oh actually not 2013, 2017, sorry. It's been 7 years and our program has really grown. We've had so many alumni come back to be a part of the program, either as volunteers, as our interns, to come back and see how the showcase and all these different projects that we ask the mentees to work on throughout the 8 weeks that they're with us, how they come to reflect the ways in which, not just how the students have grown and how youth change over time, but how our community continues to change and to be in flux and to adapt to all the different circumstances that we're faced with living here in the United States, right? And so this showcase, y'all are part of our legacy now. This is part of your legacy. Y'all are really standing on the shoulders of giants. I think one of the things that I want to highlight here, this is the first time that we are here, we really utilize the Vietnamese American Service Center, and shout out to the staff of the Vietnamese American Service Center for welcoming us here at the VAS, because it really speaks to the way in which Vietnamese American community has been able to organize and fight for something that they believe in, and to be able to provide the services to our community members and to interact and engage with the community in a way that feels meaningful, right? And so to be here, to be under this like very vibrant Nam La, like if y'all can see it, right? To kind of be standing on top of like the rice paddies and the oceans that our people came from, it feels very symbolic, but also very powerful, right? And I hope that y'all feel that as you stand in front of your parents, your community members, to share all the different things that are taken away from SEEDS. Check. Really quickly, because I want to give as much time to the mentees so that y'all can come up here and yap, so I'm not the only one yapping. One of the projects that came out of our first SEEDS program is a project called Gum Yadin. And VAR got some funding from the County of Santa Clara to make the first SEEDS showcase project come to life, to bring it to life in the form of a recipe cookbook anthology, right? So on one hand, we're trying to collect the stories of our elders, of the folks that came here, to really encourage that intergenerational dialogue and conversation. And on the other hand, it's really a way for us to capture all of the different recipes that we grew up eating, right? As y'all will see, some of the presentations today, the projects that the mentees have been working on, we talk about food a lot throughout each week of SEEDS, right? And I think like for each week, we also featured like a bunch of different like Vietnamese American foods. And so y'all will hear a little bit more about that. But we are hard launching our Gum Yadin anthology project, which by next year, the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon and the mass exodus of refugees, we're able to publish the storybook or anthology of community stories and recipes by us, from us, for us, right? And so you can check out this QR code and then we'll have it up later throughout the program as well. And then this is just a soft plug, if y'all haven't already, to follow us on all of our Instagram, Facebook. For all of y'all watching online, hopefully y'all enjoyed the program today. And with that, let's get started with some introduction to the mentees. I think this next one. Nope. Oh, wait. Before we introduce the mentees, we can't do this without y'all support. And there are different ways to support, right? I mentioned that next year is the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon and of the mass exodus of refugees from Southeast Asia. We are doing a fundraising campaign so that we can support the 8th and future iterations of the SEEDS Summer Youth Program, as well as our Lunar New Year festival that we hosted for the first time last year, as well as our 50th anniversary Black April commemoration that we've done each year for the past 12, 13 years at San Jose City Hall. There are 2 QR codes here that we'll bring up again at the end of the program, just in case you need a little bit of a reminder. On the one on your right is the one that links to our PayPal donation page. VAR, the Vietnamese American Roundtable, is a nonprofit community-based organization, so donations are tax deductible. y'all know. And on the left, if you'd like to get involved in our programs and really be a part of how we engage with the youth, with the community, you can sign up to volunteer. Seeds is over for this year, but we are definitely going to start planning for Seeds next year very, very soon. And we have plenty of programs, projects for y'all to be involved in. Mentees, the one on your left is really for you to continue your story with us and to continue engaging with us and with the community after your time with Seeds is over, right? Check. And I'm gonna pass it to our two MCs for this afternoon, Maria and Joseph, who were actually mentees from last year's Seeds cohort, who are gonna be taking us through some of the introductions, to introduce yourselves and then taking us through the introductions of our mentee cohort for this year and then into our program.
Hi, I'm Maria Blaze, and last year I went through the program as a mentee, and it was really impactful for me and also inspiring. And it made me kind of reflect on like my relationship with my mom, right? Like I'm in all of these like Vietnamese programs doing this volunteering, right? And I can't even explain where I'm going to on the weekends to my mom. Like, so it made me, or it inspired me rather to improve my like speaking so that things don't get lost in translation, but also like to like put even more of myself into the community, because like this really means a lot to me, and seeing the mentees flourish and kind of go through this program and seeing like how they experience it similarly to how I did, it's really inspiring and heartwarming.
Hi everyone, I am Joseph. I was also a mentee last summer, and through Seeds, I got to meet so many amazing people like Philip, Wing, and Juan, Justin, so many bar people, even Linda as well. Through Seeds, I got the inspiration and motivation to write my dental school interview, thanks to, Mary, great bar staff who is no longer with us, but she is still part of bar. And through Seeds, like I got to meet so many amazing mentees. Even this year, I saw so many new faces, and I'm glad to see everyone here. So we actually have Michelle, who is our first mentee, but unfortunately she's not able to be here today. So we have a video that we will be playing for her.
So how we'll do is we have intros for each of the mentees, and they'll have about a minute to introduce yourselves. And then we have a recap video. After that, each of y'all will come up and present your just like we rehearsed.
My name is Michelle Tran, and I would like to thank Seeds for this incredible summer program. Seeds has helped me connect with my culture and history by getting involved in the community and encouraging me to start tough conversations. Seeds has helped foster communication and storytelling within my family. I learned more about where my parents came from and how their experiences influences our life in America. My favorite sessions are art and expression and professional development. I would like to come back to Seeds in the future to give the next generation what Seeds gave to me, a team of hardworking and passionate leaders who aim to continue the conversation, tradition, and culture. Thank you so much, Seeds.
Understand more about my culture without needing to do the dancing aspects of it. So instead, I decided to take a Vietnamese class for 2 years at Urban Valley also be able to learn my language and be able to communicate with my family and parents because I feel as if at times I want to tell them certain things but I'll be unable to. So just for me to express how I feel without needing a translator is really important to me. And that has allowed me to grow as an individual. And for moving on to my favorite session of Seeds, I definitely say art and expression because being able to connect with Brandon, Alicia, and Balma, I've been really grateful and appreciative for it. Just being able to make that bond with them and learn different aspects of also careers besides psychology. And just for my impact and continuation with BAR, I hope to continue volunteering because I first found out about BAR from when I volunteered for the Winter Festival through Interact. And just being able to also contribute and impact Vietnamese youth has a special place in my heart, and I hope I continue to do it. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. So hi everybody. My name is Angeline Pham, and so I joined Seeds because I wanted to understand more about my culture and my heritage because my grandparents aren't really here for a long time, so I wanted to be able to connect more with them before, they're not here. And also I wanted to have a stronger connection with my San Jose community because I love to volunteer and help out. And so my favorite sessions so far have been orientation and the scavenger hunt because both of them required me to talk and connect with other people. And through Seeds, I've met such amazing people like Linda and Philip and also Kathy, my friend. And also for the future, I hope next year that I can come back to volunteer and intern and also discover more opportunities to educate the youth on Vietnamese culture. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany Nguyen. I joined Seeds to feel more closer to home and to kind of understand how us Vietnamese American community celebrate our heritage despite not living in Vietnam. I felt more connected to, again, my home and felt more like I knew who I am as a Vietnamese American person. And I wanted to understand our community better. My favorite sessions were art and expression because I'm a very creative and artsy person myself, and seeing how people like Velma were able to express her identity through things like music was also very heartwarming and enlightening. And also like the solidarity building because you're able to talk about real world issues and how us as our current generation could help broaden our knowledge and find our way to help solve current issues and teach the future generation. For future Seeds, this is kind of like advice for myself and for anyone who wants to join. Take the initiative. Don't hesitate to try. I was afraid to join, but if my brother didn't join me, if I didn't commit to joining the other sessions, I wouldn't have had this beautiful community that we have today. And I hope to be more involved with VARs in the future as well. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is David Quinn, and I'm a Seeds 2024 mentee. So for coming into Seeds, I was really excited to join this year because coming from a school that doesn't have a lot of Viet people, it's kind of intimidating, and it's really amazing to see so much Viet people connect, and it's so insane how we don't know each other, but we can just connect simply on shared experiences, and it's so amazing. So for my reflection, I said it's so important that we continue sharing our collective experiences to foster cultural learning for future generations. Having two younger sisters, I realized it's so important for me to teach them Viet, to teach them about my culture because, they're Gen Alpha, so I very much worry about them. For my favorite session, I would say scavenger hunt. It was a really fun session. I had so much fun. And for leaving with Seeds, I hope to learn and ask more questions about my Vietnamese culture and
history, especially since my grandfather came here by himself to the States. I really want to learn more about his story and about my family's journey here. And moving on, post Seeds, I look forward to joining more of our outreach efforts, especially during the election season as a community engagement team member. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I am new to this community and I actually came because David, my friend from school, really encouraged me to come up here, and even though I'm really new to all of this, I can tell that this is a very special place and I really appreciate the community. I was welcomed with open arms and yeah, I just really appreciate this, and so even though I'm not really part of this yet, I really hope to come and participate more. And I only attended one session, which was kind of like the intro to everything here. But I really felt like a stronger connection between, myself and my family. Like, I feel like we don't, like my Vietnamese side, at least we don't really, compared to my other side, because I'm Chinese and Vietnamese, we don't really like interact much, but I feel like there's a greater appreciation now that I'm coming here. I'm seeing other Vietnamese American kids. I'm able to connect with them because we're Vietnamese, and I never really thought about my Vietnamese side, but now I am really glad to have come here because of that. My favorite session was, my only session, but it was the storytelling sustainability. I myself am very interested in environmental science, and I really like the storytelling sustainability because it connect with the oral storytelling that my family would tell me, but it also connected to my interest of environmental science. And for Future Seeds, it is kind of just a reflection of what I want to do in the future, but just be more involved, take initiative, support the community, maybe join Vietnamese American Roundtable, stuff like that. But thank you for having me.
Hi everyone, my name is Anthony, and I enjoy. So recently, I've been noticing that I've been distancing myself a lot from my Vietnamese culture. I mean, I've always been so connected to Vietnamese culture, but I've been so distant from it lately. So I joined Seeds through my community, and I was able to relearn my culture and relearn the origins of my story. The evolution of this community always fascinates me, and that's why I took it upon myself and decided to research about it for my showcase. So I always appreciate Seeds because we were able to have these insightful, open discussions about real-world matters, but also about our own experiences, even though we don't know each other. And my favorite sessions are orientation because immediately we started talking about the origins of the refugees, and we touched more on that the following session. I also like the little Saigon scavenger hunt because we had a little fun. And I love arts and expression because I'm also a very creative person. And I also love the refugee history because it was very insightful, and I finally knew where our Vietnamese community came from. And for Future Seeds, I would contribute to anything cultural and ethnic, programs, events, experiences, etc.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Phan. Growing up as a Vietnamese kid, I was also really bad at Vietnamese, and I thought I was destined to just never be able to learn it. But through my time at Seeds, I've been able to enrich myself on Vietnamese culture and also develop a stronger appreciation for my family and my identity. So two of my favorite sessions that I've learned from Seeds are welcome and orientation, and also professional development, because I was able to build upon new skills that I never thought I would be able to build. For Future Seeds, I want to be able to volunteer with Vietnamese American Roundtable and also educate the youth on the importance of our Vietnamese culture and identity. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I only joined Seeds because of my friend Gabby and her sister. But after going to so many sessions and communicating with or making new friends, I feel like I've built a greater also appreciative of my old and new friends. My favorite sessions was just the orientation and scavenger hunt because I got to talk more to people. But for future seeds, it's more of like advice towards myself and I guess other people. It's to be involved in more programs, I guess, and to not be hesitant to try and ask others for help.
Hello, my name is Gabby. I joined Seeds because of my sister Isabel. She used to also do Seeds. So for the reflection, I really like it really helps me understand to connect deeper with my relatives and just creating new relationships with people I can learn from. So my favorite sessions were orientation and scavenger hunt because I really like connecting with people, but it's kind of hard for me to jumpstart those conversations. So that really like helps me talk to more people. And so for future seeds, I want to sit down and like actually have time to read the book. It Ends With Us, which is a really informing story of a Vietnamese girl. And I want to have like relax and have more fun with Bart, and I just want to not be afraid to ask or answer any questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Lynn, and the reason I joined Seeds was due to my cousins Hillary and Truman, who have been mentees and interns for the past few years. And I also joined because I wanted to get a better reflection and better connection with my roots and my heritage. And I just learned after being like attending every single session and also attending volunteering before with Bar. I also learned to like be more appreciative of my family, and I'm glad that I can maintain like the relationship that I already have with them. And my favorite session that I attended was refugee history and integration because we went to the Viet Museum, and I really enjoyed that we got to tour around, and also we got to learn more about the history and where our ancestors have been gone through. And my other favorite session has been the Little Saigon scavenger hunt since I got to communicate and I guess like meet new people, and I really enjoyed that. And my future with Seeds is I hope to intern soon, and I also hope to help the youth and connect more with their roots and ancestry. Thank you.
And then your slide went on the slide with this video, but sorry about that. Just give us some few lines.
Alright, hello, my name is Vinny Lay, and when I first joined this program, I didn't have a lot of expectations. But after going through all the different sections, there's one thing that I realized is that there's a lot of power in knowing about your origins and history, especially with your family history, your Vietnamese history, and about the community that is there to support. Now, my favorite sessions were the refugee history and storytelling and sustainability because there's a lot of things about it, well, not again about power, but also about learning where you're from and how it can relate to your experiences. Because right now I'm writing about Vietnamese culture at my school's culture show. And for future seeds, I say learn your origins and relate them to your experiences right now.
Ethan will verbally.
Oh, wait, don't put him on the spot. He doesn't have a slide, but we won't.
I don't have a slide.
We'll privately shame him later.
So going to Seeds, I just like went in for fun, but I think one of my key takeaways was just like learning about the community since I was raised in Westside San Jose, so I was not as connected to the Vietnamese community in San Jose. So I think that's one of the biggest things I took away from this. And I think my favorite session was the previous session, which was sustainability and narratives, mainly the narratives part. So I think how we present, like how our story presented by other people is like really important. I think it's important for us to reclaim just like our stories, tell our own stories, to like tell a better picture of us, like more real picture of us. So I think from I guess my seeds that I'm going to plant is I'm currently a vice president to like create programming that like celebrates our culture and our identities, and like hopefully create good conversations.
Good afternoon, y'all. Thanks for coming. It's great to see you all. And my name is Anthony. I'm from KIPP San Jose Collegiate, and the reason I joined initially was to have fun. But honestly, sorry. But yeah, like I was saying, I joined to have fun. But honestly, when I came here, I got to know a lot more about Vietnamese culture. So, learning more about my parents and their history was a really unique experience. One of my favorite sessions was probably the scavenger hunt. It was super cool to be able to, go around Little Saigon and talk to everybody and, be competitive in our scavenger hunt. So that was super fun. And I would say something I would give to the mentees in the future is to be open to talking to everyone, because when I came into VAR, honestly, I was a little bit nervous, but, everyone's super friendly and, everyone's super cool. So I just want to say that. Thank you.
Well, my name is Thomason, and as my reflection for VAR, I'd say that I joined this program initially on a whim just because Anthony was doing it, but I eventually came to really like this program because it ended up being an experience where I could find people who thought like me and were willing to be here, and I found that super enjoyable since in other situations not everyone is as open as the people here. My favorite part or my favorite session about VAR would have to be the refugee history and immigration, because I really like history, and I think it's super important to know where we came from and what our parents had to do in order for us to be in our position now. And in the future, I'd like to do more volunteering for VAR, and I may possibly become an intern next year. So thank you.
Hi everyone. I'll have a slide up here, but I'll still tell you a bit about myself. I am Thomas Ogi, and I'm sure the last names raise a bit of questions. I'm half Japanese as well as half Vietnamese, and as I'm sure many other mixed kids can relate to, growing up, balancing those two sorts of ethnicities was always a struggle, right? Especially from an area with very little Vietnamese. It was hard to find any sort of programs like this, and so I never had that much of an appreciation of my Vietnamese side as much as the Japanese side, and now I'm here. My favorite session was the solidarity building. I loved hearing Milan discuss parallels, differences between his Black, African American, African descended community as well as our Vietnamese community. And that's something that I really want to maybe bring towards my own back in Cupertino, especially with a dominant East Asian community where I'm from. I really want to help share and spread Vietnamese culture, traditions throughout where I'm from. And as to my future with Seeds, well, I don't actually know. I've discussed with Phil a few times. I might try and, instead of come up here to see all of you, maybe try and bring some of you towards where I am. So, Cupertino is a fun place. You guys should check it out sometime. Thank you.
Can we give it one more time for all the mentees from this year's senior program? We're only going to be hearing more from them very, very soon, but they've been talking about their favorite sessions. I know for a lot of y'all, parents and community members, you haven't had a chance to join us for all of the sessions, maybe just quite yet. But I want to give a shout out to Miss Cindy Doe over here with the camera, who has been following us throughout the course of the 8 weeks of the program for this year and for the past couple of years. She's put together a bit of a recap video that we're going to share with y'all now before we get started with our the projects and presentations. So here's Seeds 2024. Storytelling and sustainability. I think the prompt that we asked students was to envision what type of community they would want to live in. And if y'all have a chance to look around when we're getting lunch after, we brought the posters that they had created today to share. But with that, I think it's time to start, y'all, right? With our first presentation, student presentation for now. That's your cue. That's your cue. Go, go, go. While they're setting up.
So what we're doing is a line dance performance. So I've been doing line dance since like a year and a half ago. Is that right? Yeah. Year and a half ago. Yeah. It hasn't been that long, but I think that was like my foot. That was like getting my foot through like into VSA. Like that's helped me like open up and do more things VSA related. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say? Okay. Just a quick note, as you can see, all our uniforms are blue, white, and yellow. And that represents for us, because we're all from San Jose State. This is our San Jose
presentation's called? Even though it's on the screen, just say it one time for the one time.
So our presentation is about ways Vietnamese parents show love, or just families in general. Okay, so my name is Angeline Pham, and I'm currently attending Yerba Buena High School, and I'm going to be an incoming junior next year.
Hello, my name is Kathy Fan. I'm a rising sophomore at Silver Creek High School.
Okay, first, Vietnamese parents tend to show love by spending hours on home-cooked meals, often reflecting the regional ingredients and flavors, as you can see in the first sketch. Next, the map of Vietnam represents how Vietnamese adults share history and stories to younger kids in order for them to know more about their culture and ancestors. Lastly, the vendor stand is an example of what adults can put their time into, including younger individuals. This work style allows people to provide for their families, showing their love through dedication and sacrifices.
Okay, so the lanterns you see on the left are representing that. And so basically the lanterns represent the blessings that our parents say to us, such as Vang Sự Như Ý, which means everything happens as you wish. And so I wanted to connect this with how Vietnamese parents show love, because during this time of that, parents love to spoil their kids with good food and money. And for the catfish in the middle, I drew this to represent the many dishes that my mom likes to cook, such as gak khot tho, which I'm sick of eating every day. Every kid at home is sick of eating khot every day, but no, I'm sick of eating gak khot like every single day. And so when I eat this, my mom always tells me how to be careful because the fish bones can get stuck in my throat. And this is a connection in T's book, The Best We Could Do, and she explains for her mother that I love you sticks in the throat. And then she continues to show pictures of how her mother buys her gifts and cooks her white rice for dinner. And so this makes her feel a little frustrated because the phrase I love you doesn't really have a special meaning in her family than what she wishes it does. And so I believe that this is an important example of how love runs through Vietnamese families. And so, of course, the fruit, you already know. So Vietnamese parents love to show that they're sorry by bringing you a plate of cut fruit. And so this fruit basket is to remind all of us that our parents, well, it's hard for them to apologize and show love in general, but by using this, we can say that love is not only expressed through words, but also actions. Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, we're not done.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Okay, so here's an overview of our designs. We also mentioned that the girl on her boat would go around exploring these several concepts. Truly, we want to express this through color and originality, using post-it notes to convey verbs.
Okay, and so within this slide, we also wanted to explain how we grew from seeds, and so as a connection for our project, so through Gyeongyeon, at every session, at the very end, we always eat together, and so we wanted to just say how love can be spread through different ways, such as spreading stories, and also like magnitta and like inviting others to eat, and so that's very important because I believe that like respect is very important within our Vietnamese community. And so through Seeds, we also learned how to strongly connect with our family as well as our cultural values. Thank you for listening.
And then pop up your trifold presentation in the back for us to check out. Thanks, y'all. We're keeping it short and sweet, as well as everyone is. I'm sure everyone's getting hungry. Trust us, we have food in the back waiting for y'all at the end of all the presentations. Our next presentation, Michelle couldn't be here with us for the showcase today, but she recorded her presentation, and it is on Vietnamese wedding traditions. So kind of similar to the theme of love in the Vietnamese American family.
My name is Michelle, and I'm honored to have been part of this summer's SEES program. A little bit about me is that I grew up in a culturally American household with Vietnamese values. I always felt like an imposter to the Vietnamese community since we didn't really participate in Vietnamese traditions. Seeds helped me realize that my experience is not isolated and that I have the power to change my connection to my community. My partner immigrated from Vietnam 5 years ago, and I have learned a great deal about Vietnamese culture, and I find myself wanting to dive deeper into my roots and traditions. I decided to take a step towards learning about how traditional Vietnamese weddings are conducted, as it could be a reality in my future. Let's get started. Today, I will be outlining the structure and traditions of Vietnamese weddings. Like Western weddings, these are 3 main ceremonies: the proposal, the engagement, and the wedding. The proposal, or lễ giám ngõ, is a simple informal meeting between the immediate family members. The groom often offers rice wine, sweets, and betel leaves as a greeting gift. The proposal takes place over dinner as the family discusses the couple's marital intentions. This ceremony represents a sense of respect and consideration for each of the families and shows the sense of responsibilities to start a new family. Before any future events, the families must first consult with the fortune teller to recommend auspicious dates. Once a suitable date is selected, the next ceremony is the engagement, or lễ đám hỏi. The ceremony is a formal announcement and promise of marriage. It is an elaborate celebration with close family members and acts as a precursor to the wedding. It is also a time for the families to confirm and plan wedding arrangements. An important part of the lễ đám hỏi is the tea ceremony. The tea ceremony is a long-standing tradition where the groom formally asks the bride's family's blessing for the wedding. The groom and his representatives will package an odd number of lacquered gift boxes to offer the bride. They will line up in an order of seniority and give the gifts to the bride's respective representatives. Also called a dowry, the gifts represent the groom's dedication, love, and promise he is to offer in marriage. Once accepted, the groom will be led to the bride, where then he will pay his respects to the elders. They will light incense and place gifts on the altar, and then bow to their parents and pour them tea as a sign of respect and gratitude. Half of the gifts are then given back to the groom's family as a show of humility from the bride. The tea ceremony is concluded with a family feast. Traditional wedding gifts can include a variety of quality teas, wines, fruits, cakes, and gold jewelry. Betel and arkia nuts are staple gifts as they are symbols of love and marriage. A whole roasted pork on the lễ đám hỏi is specifically significant as it represents totalness in the love you give for your partner. Before the wedding, the groom will ask for the bride one last time and bring her home, also known as the lễ xin dâu and lễ rước dâu. The couple will offer gifts to each other, to each of their ancestral altars, and ask for their blessings before and after the bride goes to the groom's house. The bride asking ceremony shows the carefulness and seriousness of connecting the two families. Today, these ceremonies are not as common and typically take place directly on the wedding day. On the wedding day, or ngày đám cưới, the couple is celebrated with an elaborate reception and banquet party. The guests are served with a 7 to 10 course meal, and the night is filled with joyous entertainment such as singing, games, and line dancing. It's customary for the couple to greet each table, or chào bàn. Each table usually selects a representative to give their congratulations and gift their lucky money envelopes. At the end of the wedding, the couple gives their heartfelt gratitude and goodbyes to start their new married chapter. Learning about Vietnamese weddings makes me excited to participate in the traditions with my partner in the future. I will also be attending my first wedding in Vietnam next year, and I'm excited to see and be part of the experience.
Okay, next up we have Tiffany, and she's going to be singing a beautiful song for us.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Hi everyone, I'm Tiffany Nguyen again, just a How I joined Seeds. I didn't mention this on my slide earlier, but I actually joined right in the middle of Seeds program. It runs for 8 weeks, but I joined on the 4th week because my brother joined first, Anthony, and he was like, hey, do you want free boba? do you want free food? We have free food and free boba. If I bring a friend, you get free boba. And I was like, ooh, I like free boba. So I was like, okay, I'll try. And it feels like the stars have aligned because the session that I joined is called Arts and Expression. And I am a very expressive person. I love to express myself through arts and creativity, especially music. For the next slide, just a quick little explanation before I perform. So I will be singing the song Việt Nam trong tôi là, and this song is written by Ying Lang. It literally translates to Vietnam in me or Vietnam within me. This song, just as a general consensus, in case you don't understand Vietnamese, is a song that kind of talks about like the little things that makes someone Vietnamese. And regardless of where they are, whether in Vietnam or not in Vietnam, they are still Vietnamese in the inside. And this song, and as well as like in general, it makes you question how would you answer someone who asks you what makes you Vietnamese. And so I would like to explain that question by kind of explaining how Vietnamese people express themselves. And one way is through creative arts, whether it's music, art, theater, dancing, line dance, literally. And I want to specifically talk about music because we all know that the Vietnamese language is a very, very complicated and very beautiful language because we have accents and we have different words for different meanings. And it's difficult to write songs because you have to, find out the melody and then figure out how to sing songs with accents. It's difficult, but when it's done so, it's beautiful, it's melodic, it's heartwarming and healing to the ears. And people sing and make music in order to share stories and emotions, their deep experiences, and express who they really are inside through music. And so as a little personal story, for me, I was born in America, but I was taught the Vietnamese language by my parents. When I was 5 years old, I started singing. I think it was a road trip. I don't remember what happened, but my parents were playing a DVD. I think it was either Paris by Night or just some Viet performance, and I started singing. My mom recorded me, and she started crying. Not only because I was singing, but I was singing in Vietnamese. After that, I would love karaoke. Whenever I come back to Vietnam to visit my relatives, I would sing karaoke with my little hamster squeaky voice, trying to keep up with my aunts and uncles' powerful and amazing enunciations in Vietnamese. And I tried my best to keep up with them. And I grew up to love singing in general. I performed for school events and talent shows, but I've never really sung in Viet in public before. So I never really forgot my origin. I never forgot what started my journey as a singer. So if you were to ask me what makes me Vietnamese, I would say that it is the fact that I can sing in my mother language. And today, I sing for Vietnam. I sing for my parents and my family and my relatives in Vietnam. And I sing for all of us today, the Vietnamese community. Just a quick thought. This is actually the rendition from Thuy Chi. Does anybody know what The Masked Singer is or heard of it? Yeah, it's a really good show where like the singers sing in mascots and you have to guess like who's singing. And so I really like this rendition by Thuy Chi and she's really good. So hope you guys enjoy.
good out there? Keeping it rolling? Yup. Make sure to make some noise, show some support for our mentees. Next up on our roster, we have got Mr. David Wynn. David, I know, we're already all hungry. You're gonna be talking about food? You get a table there? What is this, David? What'd you put together?
Hi everyone. It's so hard to follow after that amazing performance. Good job. Okay, so for some background on my showcase project, I was having a really difficult time trying to think about what I wanted to do. I wanted it to be fun and reflective of my Seeds journey, but I also didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. So today I have this art piece that I made showcasing all of the food, some of it that we ate during Seeds, and I just wanted to highlight how important food is to our culture. Let me get my notes. Okay, only this side here. So I wanted to highlight how pivotal food is in every culture, but most notably I wanted to highlight Vietnamese cuisine today. And food was a staple of every Seed session. I'm sure it brought all the mentees and mentors together. I remember some of the most thoughtful conversations with mentors, like Richard Wing over lunch. And each piece showcases a Vietnamese dish or drink, and they are all correlated to Seeds in some way. So the first one is bánh mì, or Vietnamese sandwich. So I included this one because it felt like we ate this a lot during Seeds. Even though we only ate it twice, everyone loves bánh mì, and so drawing this came very easily to me. For my drawing, I drew a cold cut, a traditional cold cut bánh mì with pickled radish and carrot, jalapenos, and cilantro. Next one. Okay, so for bánh bèo, on the drawing you see there's three little the rice cakes, as well as don't forget the nước mắm, because you need that. It also felt like we ate this very often, whether that be at the VASC or at the Solidarity Building picnic near the grass where we were leeching off the elders' potluck. We ate this and it was so yummy. Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, so this one is personal to me. Slide 3, Lao. We ate this during the Little Saigon and scavenger hunt. So including this one was like a given for me. You know, after a very hectic and competitive but very insightful scavenger hunt, we all joined together at the dinner table at One Bing and we enjoyed Lao. And it was so nice because it wasn't just good food. We were talking about the history of Vietnam Town and how it came into fruition from Little Saigon to Vietnam Town. We talked about the history with the pamphlet, right? And it was so special to me because we just all gathered around to not only enjoy this delicious food, but learn more about each other, connect, and you know, you gotta say like, bonding over food is real. That was bonding over food. And eating together made it more delicious, so thank you. Next one. Alright, so number 4, we got the green waffles. In my opinion, this is one of the best Vietnamese fusion dishes ever created, maybe best dessert. This drawing is reminiscent of the scavenger hunt where Grace, thank you for the pan and waffles. After our group finished, we got pan and waffles because of your parents. Thank you so much. You know, we ran through Vietnam Town, past Nuc Mia Place, and it was so hectic. Just enjoyed this, and I also included boba because, you know, boba was so much. Okay, next slide. Okay, for this one, this is more close to home for our past Seed sessions. This is Café Suda, or Vietnamese milk coffee, and this was directly inspired by last week's session, the sustainability session, where we learned about sustainability and the environment and how it correlates with our stories. So I decided to draw Seeds coffee, inspired by Lee's coffee. And you know, I wanted to highlight how Vietnam is so famously known for its coffee. as evident by the success of Lee's Coffee. And in the drawing, I included a picture of Vietnam as well as California to highlight how coffee beans are sourced from Vietnam and then sent to the States. So this sustainability session taught me a lot about the importance of sustainability in food and to make sure that food can move on throughout different generations. Next slide. Alright, this one, I don't really have much of an explanation. I just decided I wanted to include bagul. At the top, I said spring, summer, egg, because people mix up the name of this dish a lot. I mean, we can all unanimously agree it's bagul, but some people call it summer rolls, some people call it egg rolls, but honestly, I think it's just egg rolls. Spring rolls. I'm sorry. Alright, so in conclusion, all the food we ate at Seeds was so delicious, and I'm really happy that we never strayed away from Vietnamese cuisine. You know, coming out of Seeds, I realized the importance of persevering Vietnamese history and culture. And while preserving our culture can mean continuing traditions and practices, it also means continuing to prepare, craft, and feast on Vietnamese cuisine. Otherwise, familial recipes can be lost. Thanks to Bart for the Cơm Gia Đình project. That's very important. So there is no shame in eating Vietnamese food. So I hope it continues to be savored and celebrated for future generations. Thank you. Oh, yes.
I will totally get that as a shirt.
Really? Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, we have Madison. Your presentation is titled Connected.
Hey guys, it's me again. My name is Madison Lin Nguyen. I'm Vietnamese and Chinese. My dad is Vietnamese, he's right there in the audience with my aunt. And I'm 15 years old. I'll be a junior at Willow Glen High School this coming year. And last week I attended my first Seeds workshop, and it was also the last Seeds workshop. It was storytelling and sustainability. And this project is more personal. It's less of like a Vietnamese culture thing and more of like how like my identity was kind of brought out in that session, how I connected with other Vietnamese American kids, and it's kind of like a way for me to organize my thoughts and kind of like my identity. And yeah, so like right off the bat, I noticed that at the session, everyone is very welcoming. I said that earlier, but yeah, everyone is very welcoming, and I also said that earlier, but like my Vietnamese side, I don't really see them much, unfortunately, but I feel like with that session, I was able to like better appreciate the time that I do spend with them, and realize that they do have an impact on my life, and I'm able to, continue telling these stories and reflect that through my art. So some main things that I have here, so right here is kind of like me being like, oh yeah, I was at the Vietnamese American Roundtable, I was at the workshop, everyone was chatting, I was able to connect with all these other, my other peers, and at the top is kind of like my identity, like everything trickling down to those moments, and so I included like my dad, like oral storytelling, kind of how, like ever since I was young, he would tell me about how our family immigrated, and yeah, how we were refugees. And I also included my Aunt Michelle one Thanksgiving a couple years ago. She brought these soft persimmons, and I really, really like them, and they're pretty messy, but I was kind of like chowing them down. And she taught me the Vietnamese name for it, and I'm sorry if I butchered this, but it was like Hong Lim or something like that, and she's right there too. Hi. And so I included that because it's a fond memory that I have. And at the top, another important tradition is praying, like getting together, like our extended family. Everyone comes to my uncle's house, and we just we pray for people who passed away in our family. So there's like the Lord's Prayer and Hail Mary, we pray the Rosary, all that good stuff. Then I also included the red envelopes because those are everyone's fond memories. But I also summed up with some food, but yeah, I just wanted to include a couple of doodles in there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Madison. Okay, next up we have Anthony.
I kind of butchered up the covers last minute, so hi everyone, I'm here again. So as a seed mentee, the biggest takeaway I got from the whole program was how we evolved into many generations. I've been Vietnamese American since my age, and I've heard about their experiences of being a Vietnamese American. But I've also talked to many elders, my many elders, whether it's from my family or it's from my friends, and I heard about their experiences as a Vietnamese American, and it sort of awes me on how we as a community have so much going on as we progress through time. And I sort of wanted to make a research project about how different our generations are, how much they come through ever since the first wave of Vietnamese Americans come here. So next slide. I'm going to start talking about and outlining the many different Vietnamese American generations and what their experiences were like. So we have the first generation of Vietnamese Americans. Most of these are primarily refugees who fled their country from the war-torn country, coming to the United States, fleeing from persecution. And they brought nothing else with them except for their values and culture. So I feel like the refugees' experience changed the whole entire worldview. And they stuck to their values. So what their experiences were like here was, as refugees, I mean, they're immigrants from another country, so of course they have a language barrier, and they were not able to secure, many of them were not able to secure many high-paying jobs. Many of them were also working professionals back in Vietnam, but their skills were transferable in the United States, so they worked in low-wage paying jobs to survive and get by. Being so far away from home, the only thing they brought with them, like I mentioned, was their culture. So family gatherings was a big part of how they live in America, to find belonging in this new country. And they faced plenty of discrimination during this time too, because Native Americans don't really want them to come here, and they sought out power to build political representation of them. I learned a lot from our third session. They fought for political representation, and they fought for their spot in the community here in San Jose. And so for the next generation that followed, these are generation 1.5 to generation 2. These are generations of Vietnamese Americans who were born in Vietnam and spent the rest of their youth in America, or was born in America from refugee parents. Now their experiences lie within the shadow of war from the generations previous to them, but they're also just like their elders. So what they experienced was that they show a strong sense of bicultural. I can't think of the word. They're considered the bridge between Vietnamese culture and American culture in their families, and they sometimes being bicultural can really cause like a tension within them, because they don't know which. They sometimes have to balance being Vietnamese and American at the same time. And the family, and like I said, the older generations, they have very strict family values, especially coming here to the United States. They only knew what their values were, and practicing them here gave them a sense of belonging. So they passed down those values to the generations next to them, and that sort of kind of gave them an identity crisis, because a lot many older Vietnamese and American generations are very involved with how their children are doing academically and what they're doing in careers. And it gives this generation no sense of self. And being in an American society where American society, they value a lot of individualism, so that sort of create conflicts between them. But this generation does have the opportunity to get higher education and able to get a more stable job. So the third generation usually follows after them. These are exclusively American born, and they might assimilate into modern American society culture fully. And this generation also refers to those who grew up with technology and their increased global connection. So now that I am done defining all generations what their experiences are, I want to highlight key differences that they have. In education and also in the workforce, usually we see a trend that more generations, there's more higher rates of education attainability and also obtaining more of a higher paying job. And then for culture, we also tend to see that as time goes by, the Vietnamese culture within generations would usually fade out as the more younger generations assimilate into the modern American society. And for values, because these younger generations are educated here in America, they tend to hold a lot of liberal views compared to the older generations, which are a lot more conservative. So that does cause a lot of political backlash, division between the Vietnamese American community. I've also experienced it myself. So what can we do to next generations? Cultural preservation versus assimilation. So basically, having these cultural programs celebrating both Western and Vietnamese cultures really helps all parties to appreciate and participate in those traditions. And for language barrier gaps are a common thing in the Vietnamese American community, and having these engaging in bilingual education to help bridge these communication gaps is really helpful, so things don't, quote Maria, things don't get lost in translation. And for political and social views matter, if we host intergenerational discussion groups where people can safely express their views, listen to others' perspectives, we're able to understand each other and how our experiences shape our beliefs. And there's also a huge social economic divide within the Vietnamese American community. So hosting volunteer programs, providing resources and services to less privileged in the community can really help bridge the gap.
Thank you, Professor Anthony, for the wonderful presentation on the shifting tides, how generations differ in the Vietnamese American experience. Next up, we have Thomason and Anthony, our favorite bros in seats, to talk about sports.
Hi. Okay.
Hi guys, good afternoon. I'm glad everyone was able to make it. After the presentations that were before us, ours might seem a little underwhelming, but we're here. So, hi, my name is Anthony.
Hi, my name is Thomason.
And this is our Vietnamese American Roundtable Project. So, I'm a 12th grader, and I go to KIPP San Jose Collegiate, and the main sports I play are basketball and volleyball, and I am the older brother of our two.
My name is Thompson. I go to KIPP San Jose Collegiate as well, and I'm a 12th grader, and I'm mainly in cross country and track. Oh, and I'm the younger brother.
So, I would like to highlight the community of VAR before we start. I don't think I've had a chance to say this before, but I'd like to thank the VAR organizers, the interns, and even the other scholars that were able to be here, because they've truly been they've been a great help to us, and I truly appreciate everything that they've done to us. That was you guys. So our topic is, well, I didn't know they were going to say our topic at the beginning, but our topic is sports, so there we go. I think sports is not something that is talked about too much in the Vietnamese American community, because I feel like not too many Vietnamese American people like play sports, and so I'd like to highlight it a little bit more. Obviously, even though like sports isn't talked about too much, I think it has been very impactful in my life, especially with building communities around sports. For an example, there's practices where, I'm able to, well, obviously practices where I could talk to other people and, just build genuine bonds with others. And even though, like, it's not a big thing in Vietnamese American culture, I feel like for the people who do play sports, I'm able to bond a lot closer to them. What's the next one? Second point.
Oh, so family gatherings. So I feel like sports, although like as Anthony said, like when you think of sports and Asian Americans, like the only thing you think about is like Jeremy Lin and like table tennis or something. But I think like as Vietnamese people, I think sports have played its own role in bonding us and bonding our community together, because personally, whenever like I go to a meeting or a family like I don't know, cookout or something, sports is always something like me and my cousins can bond over, and I feel like it's like you don't need to be that experienced in it in order for it to like, I wouldn't say change your life, but have an impact on your life. But I think it's definitely like an aspect that I like about sports.
Okay, for this one, I think we kind of already went over this, but VAR has helped us, a lot throughout the courses, and we've had multiple opportunities to learn. First and foremost, the people, as I said, are really, really cool, and they're great for the connections. There's a good amount of education as well, being able to learn about Vietnamese culture and history. And my favorite part was the free food that we had at the end of every session. So yeah. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Anthony and Thomason. We're gonna use this exact same slide for next year's seats promotion. What you can get for seats 2025. We'll have all the mentees from previous years come up and share their top 3 points. Mostly the free food, which we have some in the back. Just in case y'all are hungry and thinking about it. But up next, we have got Brian, who's going to be taking us through how we understand the way that family customs are shaped.
Chào tất cả, mình tên là Brian. Mình sẽ trình bày shape through family customs. My name is Brian Fan. I'm in 12th grade, and I attend Evergreen Valley High School. So initially this program, I wanted to join it to enrich myself on more Vietnamese culture, as well as Vietnamese history, and learn the perspectives of other Vietnamese people in the San Jose community, and also the symbolic meaning behind our traditions. And I've been able to achieve all of those goals. So I thank VAR for that. Okay, so if you were to ask me about how parties were at the age of 8, I would just tell you that I sit alone in a room, which is really sad. But now I can proudly say that it played a significant role in shaping my perspective on my Vietnamese identity. So if not for parties, I would not have been able to experience the joy of trying multiple Vietnamese dishes and going out of my comfort zone. because I know like a lot of us grew up on like chicken nuggets and pizza. If not for parties, I would not have been able to experience the joy of listening and singing Vietnamese karaoke. And if not for parties, I would not have been able to connect with my cousins and listen to the auntie gossip. So, as we all know, food is one of the roots that connect all Vietnamese people together, and it's an essential part of our culture. It's why you hear An, like preceding celebratory words in Viet, like An Tết, which is party, and An Mong, celebrate. So much of my childhood, I have had the privilege of being able to try a bunch of Vietnamese foods, which I'm extremely grateful for. And some of my notable favorites are Nước Mía and my parents cooking pho every week. They're not just filler foods that you eat to survive. They're a part of like your culture and a reminder that this is a lifetime experience, and I'm grateful for all my family. So, living in a Vietnamese family, it's also been pretty stressful, like having to worry about my future career and if I'll be able to like sustain it. However, this constant pressure from my family has also helped me become more persistent and understanding of my parents' perspectives, as they truly just want the best for me and to be able to sustain myself when they're not around anymore. And I find peace in working towards educating myself to higher opportunities, such as in college and getting a master's degree. So to my mom and dad, I thank you for being so incredibly patient with me and allowing me to live freely and having me experience the freedom you didn't get to as a kid. To my mom, as you told my sisters and I about your story of growing up as a refugee and living in America, I want you to know that you are incredibly strong for being able to endure so much and even being like treated as a servant to your cousins and aunts. I want to thank you for the life you've given me, and your stories as a refugee will always inspire me, and I will always appreciate the things that you do for me. Okay, so on this slide, I have a Vietnamese song that really inspired me to learn more about my culture. And as a kid, I was really bad at Vietnamese. Like, I failed Viet school like 3 times. So this song really inspired me to start picking up Vietnamese again and to take Vietnamese at my school. So let's hit it.
Mùa thu tan úa, lá vàng rơi khắp sân, mình anh nơi đây cô đơn lặng lẽ. Từ khi em ra đi, từng hàng cây trước sân, dường như cũng đã xa xưa đi nhiều. Rồi mùa thu đi qua, khi mùa đông đã về, chờ mong tin em nhưng sao chẳng thấy. Người yêu ơi, em có còn yêu anh nữa không? Mà sao không thấy một lời cho nhau? Người yêu ơi, có biết anh nhớ em nhiều lắm? Những đêm trong rễ hoa tay nắm tay nghẹn ngào. Lòng hạnh phúc biết bao ngờ rằng em còn đây. nụ hôn trao ngất ngây ôi tình yêu tuyệt vời. Người yêu ơi có biết anh nhớ em nhiều không? Đã bao năm tháng qua anh bám mong vắng chờ. Giờ em đang ở đâu hãy về bên anh. Tình yêu ta thắp lên cho mùa xuân xanh ngời.
We can sing the whole song during lunch, you know?
So now before I end off, I want to thank all the VAR staff for providing us with this opportunity to meet our mentors and connect with other people. And also, I want to give you a final message before I conclude off, to keep following your dreams and to never stop learning Vietnamese and embracing your culture. Thank you.
All right. We've got 2 presentations left before our Seeds graduation and scholarship presentation. Next up is, y'all know who you are. Sophie and Gabby on the roots of our story.
Hey there, my name is Gabby. My name's Sophie. And today we have a slideshow presentation of family trees and how food connects us like roots of the tree. So what exactly is a family tree? Family tree is just a diagram to show the relationships between family members across generations. And so they also signify the connection between our ancestors and us, and are overall just a powerful symbol of interconnectedness, progression, and just a beautiful painting of relationships.
This is my family tree. It consists of myself, of my parents and brother, and my 2 cousins. My favorite dish is chak ka, but my parents, my dad's is pho, and my mom's is bun xiu. My brother's is banh mi, and my 2 cousins, Matthew, his favorite is bun ba, and Ashley is, I don't know how to say it, it's like soy ba, I think.
So this is my family tree. I have me on there, my little brother, my older sister, my mom, and my 2 cousins, Tammy and Tyler. So first I have Jet Thai on there. I have also Bun Ba. And I have spring rolls, and my sister likes Jeb and Lo. So,
Like roots of a tree, we are all connected in various ways, including food. It serves as a sustaining source of interconnection and helps us all bond and strengthen our relationships.
So my favorite Vietnamese food is Jet Thai because it's really helped me take a stride towards self-discovery and understanding my ancestry. So since I was like influenced by an American society, my favorite food was pizza growing up. So I still enjoy Vietnamese cuisine, but I felt disconnected to that side of me. So Jet Thai is just one of my favorite foods overall, and it's just helped me feel closer to my family and heritage. So one specific memory I have of Jet Thai is coming home from a long, exhausting day at school, and my mom had made homemade Jet Thai for me and my siblings. So yeah.
Chak ka is my favorite food because it helped me associate myself with my Vietnamese identity. I used to be fluent in Viet when I was younger, before school started, I guess. And after school started, because I was surrounded in like an Americanized environment, I lost my ability to speak Viet. I can like barely say a couple sentences, but sorry. As I grew, my ago as well, especially for the food. Food was the source that helped me connect with my family and my traditions, and it was easy to love my country because the food was so good.
Okay, so my brother's favorite dish is jajun because of our childhood restaurant, Gyeongnam Bien Hong. So Gyeongnam is just a restaurant we went to often as little kids, and it's just something we really cherish. He also loves eggs in general, so he's kind of like an egg fiend. So he tells me that he remembers of going there a lot as a child and getting free candy after a hearty meal of nutmam over jajun and ribs. My mother's favorite Vietnamese food is spring rolls, but she also loves a cake called cassava cake, which she says that is a Vietnamese dessert. I mean, not a Vietnamese dessert, but a dessert that Vietnamese people often enjoy. She told me that during times in Vietnam when people didn't have a lot of money, they would buy cassava seeds and make cassava cakes, which is very affordable and satisfying. She also enjoys spring rolls because she explains that it's so that she gets to sit down with our family and talk about our day while rolling noodles in rice paper.
Bún bò Huế is one of the most popular dishes from Vietnam. It originates in the Nguyen Dynasty during the Nguyen Dynasty in central Vietnam. The chefs of the time were required to design foods to please the royal family. It was supposed to have like complex, diverse flavors, but also be nutritious enough to be part of their diet, I guess. This food is significant to our Vietnamese culture because while there were so many political changes and conflicts during the dynasty, the recipe for the dish never changed. Banh mi is also one of Vietnam's most famous foods. Even though the creation was made in Vietnam, it has some certain French roots to it, mostly just the baguette. But this is because Vietnam used to be under the French's colonial rule. This meal symbolizes the fusion between French and Vietnamese cuisine, illustrating the importance of culture and culinary culture to the Viets. I've never personally eaten this because it looks kind of scary, but Gà Chiên is, I think, one of Vietnam's unique dishes because each region has their own recipe. For the south, it's more sweet than usual, and the north is the flavor is kind of toned down. But yeah, I think that's it for this side.
Okay, thank you. See you here later.
Okay, next I'm going to be speaking on behalf of my best friend in the whole world, Crystal Nguyen, and she created an art piece because she's such a talented artist, and I'm going to be speaking about it in her perspective, since this is what she wrote for me. It was mainly a piece to honor my grandmother while also revisiting my childhood and tying that back to how my family immigrated to America. My bagmoy always pulled my hair back whenever I ate, even though I didn't like it. But looking back, it was a simple gesture that showed how much she cared about me without using her words. Those same hands were used when she became a sous chef, seamstress, babysitter, and cared for everyone in the family after she immigrated to America 30 years ago. I really loved reading The Best We Could Do because it shed light on a similar immigrant experience that I know my family had went through. My family on my mom's side, as well as my dad's side, had gone to the Malaysian refugee camps by boat and went to America when both my parents were teens. My grandma worked extremely hard throughout her life, and I feel that she was never really appreciated enough. She never really got to enjoy her life, and she was always dedicated to taking care of others. So I made this piece because of the connection I had with her, and it was significant to me because everyone tells me I carry her face. Just knowing that I'm a part of her motivates me to keep going and work towards my dreams as she did, as that was her wish to me before she passed. Moving past that, I included some references to my childhood as a Vietnamese American: rice crackers, candy, bokul. I was planning to put a bunch more, but I ran out of time. Being part of the Seeds session has
Shout out to Crystal. And our last showcase presentation for today is by Jessica. To close us out before we wrap up our program for this afternoon, and her project is titled The Identity of a Vietnamese American.
Hello everyone, my name is Shannon Nguyen, and my inspiration behind this memoir that I written today is from the storytelling and sustainability session where we get to tell each other stories that we've been told or like stories that we've been passed on. And this memoir is inspired by the conversation I had with actually my eye doctor who was telling me about like teenagers my age who can't speak Vietnamese, who can't maintain their tradition or their language or culture or anything. Identity of Vietnamese American. Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Nguyen and I'm 16 years old. I am proud to call myself a Vietnamese American. And today I want to share with everyone some of my experiences growing up as a daughter of an immigrant household. While many teenagers with Vietnamese heritage might feel conflicted or even embarrassed about their cultural roots, I've learned to embrace the cultures of our people and our deep history. From a young age, my parents have ingrained in me the importance of preserving our language and traditions. At home, English was never allowed when speaking with my parents, which ultimately made me become the translator for them and the keeper of our cultural heritage. I'm grateful for my upbringing because it has allowed me to maintain such a strong connection to my Vietnamese identity and its connection that I hope to pass on to future generations. I wanted to share my journey with you all, from teaching myself how to read and write Vietnamese to reflecting on the tribulations and pleasures of being bilingual in a world where many of my peers shy away from heritage. My story is one of joy, and I hope it inspires others to embrace their culture and identities as Vietnamese Americans, to take pride in who they are and commemorate those who came before us. I've heard many stories, but there's one that has stuck with me all these years, where an elder had asked me, "Do you speak Vietnamese?" To which I responded, "Yeah, meaning I could." He was shocked to find out that I could speak Vietnamese, since most teenagers my age could not speak Vietnamese, and it was surprising to find me, who was a bilingual second-generation immigrant. Many Vietnamese American teenagers answer American when they're asked whether they're Vietnamese or American, as if they are ashamed of their heritage and their origins, and as if being Vietnamese is such a disdainful reality. I surrounded myself by kids and teens who have become humiliated for even speaking a single word of Vietnamese. These are the same kids who cannot communicate or talk to their parents, much due to the language barrier between them. There's often this translation between the parents and their children, and also lessons, stories, and even everyday conversations are prone to getting lost in translation, causing the relationship with their parents and elders to weaken over time and to become distant with their parents. I appreciate the fact that my parents have taught me to maintain the language and culture at home, and I'm glad I can maintain the relationship with them, and that I have not grown distant with them. Throughout my life, I have come to make many friends who are Vietnamese, and I occasionally come across the urge to talk to them in Vietnamese, only to realize that they can't actually speak it. When I try to explain something in Vietnamese, it saddens me that they have no idea what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to traditions and culture. These are the same people who some refer to as whitewashed, those who don't know anything about the tradition, like how it is celebrated for at least 10 days in Vietnam. The most shocking part to me is that they have never even been to a temple, nor have they worn aliyah even once. My friends have always told me, if you're so Vietnamese, you might as well have been born in Vietnam. To which I respond, I would rather be born in Vietnam than not have any sense of my cultural identity, nor know anything of my roots. I see many of my friends' parents shaped our identity as people. There's nothing to be ashamed of for being Vietnamese. We have to be grateful for where we come from and remember all the hardships that our ancestors and older generations have gone through. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my story, and I hope that I can inspire many others to embrace their own journey with pride and gratitude, and I wish my parents were here to watch me read this out loud to everyone today. I am proud to call myself a Vietnamese American.
Thank you, Jessica. And can we give it up one more time for all the Seeds mentees? Today, y'all are so amazing. Thank y'all. And then for the Seeds mentees, can we give it up one time for all your parents and your family members and community members that came through and stuck through the entire presentation. We're a little bit over time, so, they're really sticking through. This reminds me of when, y'all really bring me back to my times in high school when I would be staying after school to go to a Key Club meeting, and then my dad would be waiting in the parking lot for an hour while I finished the meeting, and he had no idea what I was doing. But your families are here seeing what y'all are doing, and I'm really happy and glad. I'm very glad that y'all have this experience for y'all. Because it's something that I hope that you recognize. I think you recognize, right? Or I see it because y'all have been talking about it all afternoon, right? That it's an experience that's very unique, and it's very powerful, and it's something that we hope you can share with everyone for years to come, right? At this point in the program, as we close out, I want to mention that this program is yes, and in a second. I want to mention that this program is sponsored by, or is funded partially by the Safe Summer Initiative Grant, which is part of one of the initiatives from the city of San Jose. And here with us today is Jitara Dan, who is from Mayor Matt Mahan's office. And she has, we give her a warm welcome. She has some certificates and some remarks to share with our SEED students today.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I would like to congratulate. I have been going to many events since this morning, believe it or not. You got them in song. I saw you this morning. But anyway, thank you for inviting me, and I would like to share some of my experience. I have heard your stories, and it looks like you can actually learn Vietnamese in very small ways. Okay, I saw your presentations. Some of it you guys could say in Vietnamese, bún bò Huế, really easy, right? Chả cá, really easy. What about spring roll? What is it? All you have to do is raise the question, be a little bit more, content of finding out the meaning in Vietnamese. You could use Google Translate. I use it every day. Okay, so it's a small thing like that would help you improving your Vietnamese. And yes, you should be proud that you are Vietnamese American and that you could speak Vietnamese really well. I just met a fireman at the South Day Firefighter Burn Foundation's event at the Santa Clara County Fairground just now. And he is 32 years old, he is a Vietnamese American, and he can't speak Vietnamese. And he is so regretted. So now he said, Jitara, can you please teach me Vietnamese? Meaning that I'm gonna have to mentor him in some of the medical terms and also the firefighting terms. So basically, if you have an urge, if you really want to, then you can. Okay, that's my recommendation. And also that whatever you do or whatever you learn, and I saw your presentation, they are very, very nice and very thoughtful. Whatever you do, you have to think, if you could make a positive impact to someone, just only one person in your life, that is very meaningful to you. Just think of it. Whatever you do, whatever you say, wherever you write, you got to do something that you think you make a positive difference in someone else's life. Okay, so I am one of the board directors of HABSC, which is San Jose Bay Burning Club. Our mission is to support the less fortunate children in Vietnam. We build greenhouse, we build water system, we build restrooms, we supply basic needs scholarships for the student from K to 12 to college. And that is, and we do it one child at a time. And we have a vision of 1 mile for one child. That means that every time we run for 1 mile, we think that we're gonna make a positive difference in someone else's life for that 1 mile that we run. So that's another thing that I learned from my life, you know. And you are young and you have a bright future in front of you. As youth, you could engage with the community and you could make a difference. And we, the older generations, rely on you to carry on the torch, to be someone who makes that difference in the community, to another person, to society. Okay? Well, thank you very much, and for me to speak to you. And if you have any question, I could hang around for like 5-10 minutes. Right now, I would like to congratulate the 25 students. And I know I would like me to say a little bit about my job as working in the mayor's office. My title is Community Outreach Coordinator. It's nothing. It's like Community Outreach Coordinator, meaning that I'm going out there, I'm engaging with the community. And I want to make sure that I work on the various causes. And as you know, that right now, the mayor's focus is on homelessness, blight, public safety, and economic retention and growth. And that is my full focus. And my responsibility is 120,000 Vietnamese in the city of San Jose, 40,000 Filipinos community in San Jose, and District 7. So it's a lot of responsibility with the little title that I have. But why do I work so hard? Because in my heart, I want to make a difference in someone else's life. Okay? So that is mine I would like to share with you. So would like to congratulate, if you could help me with the, yeah.
We also, we can give them, so one of the, yeah, we can do both of them at the same time. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes, but thank you, Tara. I'm going to hold on to these and then we'll hand them out to the students as they come up. As we thank you, Tara, one more time for joining us in our program. I'm really grateful for your support over the 7 years that SEEDS has been existing as a program, definitely. And at this point in time, we also want to thank the Vietnamese American Professional Association of Women in Silicon Valley for their generous support. And they joined us for our professional development session, and y'all had a chance to meet some of their members. Ji Han-yi Jung is also here as a representative. Han-yi, hello. Who's also the program manager here at the VAS. But we want to thank y'all. VPW is the group that sponsors our SEED scholarships. So for participating, for being a part of this program, each of the SEEDS mentees receives, I believe, a $100 scholarship from that's sponsored by VPW from us at the conclusion of the program. And so we have some certificates for y'all from both the city of San Jose and for your scholarships. So we're gonna call y'all up one by one to grab your certificates and then close out with a group picture, yeah? Before we send y'all off with food, maybe to go. Okay, all right.
Okay, first we have David Quinn. Yes. Anthony Lay. Benny Lay. Thomason Lay.
Cindy, you can go center. Look at Cindy, look at Cindy.
Ready?
Right here.
3, 2, 1. And then one more. 3, 2, 1.
Everyone come in the picture. Everyone in the picture. Everyone. Community picture.
Parents come in. Y'all in the back come up. Join this picture. Make some space. The live stream is still on too, right?
Yes, the live stream is still on.
Nice. Hello, Velma.
Hello. Sorry.
I hate the shield. But we can do it in another spiel. Yeah, come in. Hillary, True, get in. Y'all want to get in this picture? Okay, all right. All high.
All right, look at Cindy.
That's what you said after it's bad, right? Yo. Cindy, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. And last one, everyone say kimchi. 3, 2, 1.
Kimchi. Man, it's not like you duel, man.
Nice, thank you everyone. We have food in the back. Where's Plum? I'm right here. Plum, what's on the menu?
Chad?
I'll go down there.
You'll see the menu. There's banh ư, there's spring roll, there's some banh choux. I've done that enough times.
We're actually going on a Saturday? Yeah. Right. So she didn't tell you anything about Yes.
Vietnamese.